hair safe? Well, today I'm walking you through the dangers of 3 of the most common ways to get your hair straight: flat irons, relaxers, and the controversial Brazilian blowout. What lengths would you go to get your hair to look like this? Would you be willing to wear a gas mask? How about risk a nosebleed?
As long as my hair looks pretty, I don't care what's in the product.
Plenty of women are spending up to $500 on a Brazilian blowout, the hottest trend in hair straightening. But they may be getting more than they bargained for. 3 states have announced serious accusations against the company behind the treatment. In Oregon, health officials tested Brazilian blowout products after hearing about suspicious nosebleeds and breathing problems. And shockingly, they found the products contained over 10% formaldehyde.
Formaldehyde is a known carcinogen and allergen.
Top New York salon owner Mark Garrison used to be a believer, but now he's banned the Brazilian blowout.
He had the product tested, Brazilian blowout, and the levels came in above what's permissible by OSHA.
Brazilian blowout told us that's nonsense. Their website says their products contain no formaldehyde. Garrison still offers similar straightening treatments in his salon, many of which have trace amounts of formaldehyde. But he takes precautions, ventilating his salon and insisting both stylists and clients wear gas masks.
Absolutely awesome. I'll do it again and again.
For some of you, this straightening procedure is just part of the price of beauty. But are you really sure you know what's safe and what's not? I'm joined by Cheryl Kramer, Cage's beauty director at Redbook. Cheryl, Brazilian blowout products, they're getting singled out, but they have formaldehyde just like keratin products do.
You're right.
What's the difference?
The Brazilian blowout is a keratin treatment, and most of the keratin products on the market do contain formaldehyde, but in low enough levels that they aren't going to be harmful to anyone getting their hair done. The problem with Brazilian blowout, and the reason that they're catching heat, is that their labels indicate that there's no formaldehyde in the product, and initial government testing shows that that isn't true. Additionally, the levels that were found in Brazilian blowout are higher than acceptable government standards. So while the matter is under investigation, I'd avoid Brazilian blowout, and keep in mind, if you're going for any keratin treatment, make sure the salon is properly ventilated, not just an open window or a fan that just won't cut it.
So we talk a little bit about what really happens when we use these hair straightening chemicals. You know, formaldehyde is what we use to preserve those organs that I bring on the show all the time. So it's pretty toxic stuff. Where's Lisa? He said, come on down. Come on down, Lisa. All right, so this is what your hair looks like. This blue ribbon is a classic molecule, chemical that's found, that makes up the strands of the hair. And that hair, that protein that's wrapping around the hair is there for an important reason. It holds everything together. Those proteins are held together by these very small red bands, and they're called sulfide bonds. What these straighteners do, these chemicals, is they actually go ahead and get your scissors. They cut them.
Oh, no.
They cut them. Go ahead and cut them all. And when they cut them, they allow those hair strands to straighten out. Keep going. And so these bonds eventually, one more time up top, and it gives way. And it straightens out. You end up with these beautiful straight hair. Now, the chemicals that have divided these red bonds thus allow other material, water, other chemicals, to get within the hair structure, because they're no longer protected with that external ribbon. And because of that, it can allow it to be denatured, changed, and sometimes it causes problems that you don't want to have. But it's an example of how powerful that it is, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you.
All right, now, Cheryl, I thought about some do-it-yourself techniques that might work. And a lot of folks call these things, they call relaxers, but I'm struck by the pictures of the little girls on there. Walk me through which of these are safe, which ones make sense.
Well, relaxers, unfortunately, can be dangerous. They're typically marketed to African-American women, and you can find them over the counter at drugstores and beauty supply stores. But they contain an ingredient called sodium hydroxide, and it's also known as lye, and it's also known as the active ingredient in drain cleaner. So you pour this down the drain to melt the hair that's clogging your drain. So imagine what it's going to do on your head. Now, there are also no-lye relaxers. Sounds safer.
It does.
It's just a little tweak of the lye relaxer, so it's really just as caustic. Another marketing ploy, saying that they have organic and natural ingredients.
Yeah, I noticed that here. And can I just say something? This really bothers me. We spend so much time on this show trying to get folks to be aware of what they're buying, and most of you now know that organic foods make a ton of sense. When someone puts the word organic or natural on a product like this, it irritates me because there's no such thing. How do you make lye organic? And so I'd rather you buy something from someone who honestly says, I'm not making something that's good for you, but, it is what it is. I want to get my hair beautiful, as the woman talked about in the little video we looked at, as opposed to conning you into thinking this is safer. So I want to show you how costly these relaxers can be. So, Christine, where's Christine? Come on down, Christine. Come join us. Here's some gloves. This is too dangerous for Cheryl to do, so she's just going to watch us. But we're going to actually do this the right way. So there we go. Put a little mask on you. There, pinch that down. Put your gloves on. We're going to actually show you what these relaxers are. So if you don't know what they are, you might be constantly thinking that they're okay. Do you use relaxers at all?
Yes, I do.
You do? Oh, then you're comfortable with this material. Do you dress up like this usually?
No, I do not. Not at all.
All right. So go ahead and grab this fluid here and put some on up paper. This is just a piece of paper. Go ahead. Put the whole thing on there. It's okay. All right. So that just hydrates the paper, right? It's just the paper a little bit wet. Now, watch what happens when you take the lye, which is what this powder represents. Okay, pour it right in the middle. Put the whole thing on there. Pour. Now, notice what happens. It starts to melt the paper. Can you all see that? See how it's chewing its way through there? And it's giving off incredibly harsh gases, which is why we have these masks on. It could fly up into your eyes, which it could do. And watch what happens to the bottom. I don't know if you can even... You see how that turns? You're literally getting holes in the paper. See it's pulling right through there and it's smoking? You all see that? This is what I'm talking about. This is not stuff that I want patted around. So it's not that I'm against straighteners. I'm against straighteners not being used correctly and people not knowing what they're really getting when they actually get it. If you leave this on too long, it's very, very dangerous. Christine, thank you. You can take that mask home with you if you want.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, this stuff is going out. I'm going to cover this up because I don't want the audience to be getting those fumes in their noses. Okay. I'm going to eat. No, I'm not eating. Look, this is amazing. It's eating through the cloth.
Still going strong.
Do you see that? Yeah. So I'm going to have someone take us away because I don't want this involved in any of us. We got to. There we are. Thank you very much.
So if you are going to do it at home, I would recommend following the directions very, very carefully. You would want to not use this product more than once every 8 weeks, and you have to have a protective coating for your scalp. One thing you can do is wait a couple days. Don't wash your hair for a couple days. That'll help your natural scalp oils build up, and that'll give you another protective layer. But really, the best bet, go to a salon, have it done professionally.
Remember that paper I put there? That's your scalp. That is what your scalp is feeling when you put these chemicals on there. So I love that idea of not washing for a while. But I think this is the kind of thing you want a professional doing right now. That's the last little issue. High heat. What do you think about these?
Well, the biggest risk you run with these that I've experienced personally is frying your hair. So you don't really want to use a blow dryer or a flat iron every day. Really, that flat iron should not be used more than 2 or 3 times a week. And when you're choosing a flat iron, look for one that has ceramic coated plates that will help distribute the heat more evenly, not singe your hair. And also look for one that has a digital or dial thermometer. You probably do not have to crank that baby up to 450 degrees. 350 degrees is fine for normal hair, and really you shouldn't go higher than 300 for fine hair.
Get those numbers down, guys. If you don't want to fry the hair, that number makes sense. You can still get the benefits of straightening your hair without some of the toxic long-term effects. And I love the 8-week rule. Just give your hair a little time to grow back the way it's supposed to be. Otherwise, you'll have the complaints that my daughters are making now about their hair falling out. They want to know what incurable ailment they have, right? And it's called the heat from the different parts.
Looking good.
Thank you very much, Cheryl. Wonderful advice as always. Cheryl Kramer, beauty director at Red Book Magazine. For the products you use every day contain harmful chemicals, log on to DrOz.com and take the cosmetic safety quiz. Be right back.